I sat down in class. It's early. I'm tired. I ain't really trying to talk. And the girl was like, "Oh my God, Bree, I'm loving your turban. You're really tapping into your African roots." I was like, I found myself trying to act like them or talk like them to relate or to have conversations with them. And when I say battle, I mean as in I had to be like, Bree, this is not even you. This is not even how you talk. And the reason why I felt myself battling back and forth with that throughout the time of being in nursing school was because I just say, hey, girl, a lot. That's just me. Like, hey, girl, hey. And so I had times where I would come in class and I'd be like, hey, girl. So I just didn't know, like, are you mocking me or do you actually mean like, hey, girl, because that's not even how you talk. Or I even had a time where I had a classmate who was really funny. She was like crack jokes all the time. So I used to just be like, girl, you are so stupid. Oh, my gosh. And she finally came up to me like weeks later and was like, Bree, why do you always call me stupid? And I was like, you're not actually stupid. Like, you're not dumb. I'm just saying, like, girl, you funny. Like, you're hilarious. And that's when I realized, like, this is a major difference in culture, how we talk to each other. I have to be more attentive to that because I had realized in that moment that I offended her. That was an adjustment. And that, honestly, I battled with anxiety, so that brought kind of anxiety to me to be the only 4 to 3 to 2 only other people be in your class like you. People want to be accepted. You don't want to not feel accepted. And so then you battling having to talk like them or act like them, but then you push back and be like, but that's not even me. Like, I'm going to be who I want to be and either they're going to accept me or not. It caused a lot of anxiety for me and stress. And so whenever I had time to like come back home during the weekend to Atlanta, girl and guy, I would rush home. Like I would be in Atlanta on the weekends as much as I could, and not even just to hang out with my friends, just to be home and out of Birmingham and away from my school. Other things that I experienced while I was at school as well was they had a presentation. This was right before we were going into clinicals, and they had a presentation slideshow in class about what to wear, what not to wear, makeup. They're going through the slideshow, and what I noticed was, I'm like, there's not one black person in this slideshow. So what we supposed to do? I guess it felt as if they were just like, we're not even going to get into that. That can be touchy, so we're just not going to put black people in the slideshow at all. Not saying that was their intention, but that's what it felt like. It felt more centered towards people with straight hair. And you know, black people, we change our hair like every week, every other day. I can come with a sew-in, I could be natural, like all of that. That was awkward. Definitely when they got onto the topic of like hair color, they were basically saying that your hair has to be at your natural hair color. And if it's not, you know, you can't wear it. I'm thinking, but y'all know I rock blonde hair. That's my hair color to me. I had to bring that up in class, and they were like, oh, well, that's fine. You know, they were open to that. And I feel like, once again, they were open to that because that's not something that they even want to push as a problem. Now, I get it. You can't wear like green, purple, blue hair and stuff like that. But if I'm, you know, wearing blonde hair, that shouldn't be something that should be a problem. But I feel like they were not trying to be confrontational, that they were just like, yeah, you're good. Other things that I just thought was funny about going to a P.W.I too is that I walked in class one day and they were like, oh my God, Bree, yes, your hair is so pretty. And I'm like, what? And I was sitting next to my classmate and it would just jump from different topics throughout the weeks. Just like, how are those braids in your hair? I'm not understanding the braids. And how is your hair short this week, but it's long this week? And I came into class one day with a turban on. And y'all know I wore a turban because my hair wasn't done and I just wasn't trying to do my hair. I sat down in class. It's early. I'm tired. I ain't really trying to talk. And the girl was like, oh my God, Bree, I'm loving your turban. You're really tapping into your African roots. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. I was like, no, my hair is just messed up and I felt like wearing a turban today. But those situations also just taught me to be more like not offended. That's just my personality. Either too though, like I don't get easily offended by people. It just made me realize how important it is for races to get to know each other. I think that she was more curious than anything. No, you cannot touch my hair. But you can't ask questions, you know. They didn't understand how I naturally have curly hair. How is your hair curly one day and then the next day straight? So it's just important for each other to really, instead of judge, ask. And that's one thing I can give to her. She used to ask a lot. I feel like she did make comments sometimes that was just kind of like, girl, you wasn't thinking about what you were saying before you said it. And most time I think she was just curious. But back to the case study that I was talking about. This case study didn't start until the semester before I graduated. And I'm assuming that if you're a teacher at the school that I went to in the nursing program, you have to do some type of research study. And these 3 teachers decided to do a research study on why African American students were near failing or failing out of the program. They emailed us, you know, different Black students that they feel like would be interested. I was like kind of hesitant at first of going, but I was like, no, I'm gonna go and see what it's about, because they had like this whole orientation type luncheon. We get there and they told us the purpose of the study, and then they started allowing us just to introduce ourselves to each other and basically give a brief experience of being an African American student in this program. As people were talking, it was just so surprising to me that I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that is experiencing these things in nursing school. While we were talking, we realized that a lot of the African American students were not receiving the same resources as students of other races. We realized that they were telling us the same thing, kind of like by script, but I wouldn't say by script, but they just wasn't giving us the deep details of how to do this and do that like they would with other students of other races. We were all saying the same thing. They just like, well, get a tutor, go to student disability if you're having difficulties with test and anxiety, try this little thing and try that. It just wasn't like major things that you can do. And then you'll be in class hearing other students like, yeah, I just got off the phone with my teacher last night. They called me and they've had this long talk about what they can do, or they had dinner with the teacher, or their boyfriend is the teacher's cousin or cool with the uncle, so they're able to have dinner with them and go to their house and get deeper details on the test. Or the teacher knew someone who was a doctor that was cool with their family member, so they were able to get student disability, compared to like me in my predicament. I don't know any doctors in that field to diagnose me with anxiety so that I'm able to have accommodations for my test. Then it was another story that another girl had shared. She was basically failing her test or whatever in the class. And so in nursing school, you normally have like 3 or 4 tests in a semester. It's basically saying that she had got like a 65 and then like a 70 something on her first 2 tests. So like a 65 and then a 70 something. And so then she said she was going to the teacher's office. She changed her study ways. She got a tutor. She was just she was getting desperate. She was trying to find different ways to pass. And so eventually she took the test again and ended up getting like an 85 or something like that, or 82. Basically like almost a 20-point difference. And the teachers basically graded her test and pulled her aside and basically accused her of cheating. She said at that point she was very offended by their accusations. And she said that as a grown woman, she had to she was basically saying as a grown woman, she had to call her parents for backup so that she didn't feel like she was being attacked when she goes into the office, to let them know, like, I wasn't cheating. I really did my best. And basically her mama had to go in on them like, how dare you accuse my daughter of cheating just because her grades jumped up 20 points. When I know you've had other situations like this for other students, and I doubt that y'all even had them come and have a sit down about their grade. They were even talking about pulling her out the class. They had no proof of her cheating, seeing her doing nothing during the test. They just felt like there is no way possible that she could have done that. It was just crazy to me. And the reason why it was crazy is to me because prior to that, I experienced someone actually cheating in my class. My teacher came in and we were about to take a test, and she seemed kind of off. She seemed like upset or whatever. And we were just like, okay, I'm focused on my test. I'm trying to pass. The teacher's like, I know that somebody in here is cheating. I know that you're cheating. And if I find out you're cheating, you're getting expelled, and we're going to the dean about this because this is unacceptable and this will define your integrity as a student, as a future nurse, and blah, blah, just going down the list, right? So I'm thinking, But she ain't talking about me, so can we just take the test? So what my school used to do was you couldn't wear like hoodies with hoods on them. You couldn't wear head caps. You couldn't have Apple Watches on. So like if you had like a long sleeve shirt on, they used to like make you pull down your sleeves so you could do this. They would ask us to pull our computers up. So y'all, we in there about to take this test, and it's a Christian school, so we used to always pray before our test, which I really did like that. We prayed before our tests, our exams. And she said, pull your computers up. Y'all, we pulled the computer up, and the boys, he was not black. The boy's paper fell from under his computer onto the floor. So everybody just looked like, dog is about to get expelled. Continue to take our exam, and after the exam, she asked him to stay after class. So I'm thinking for sure, oh, he's gonna get expelled. She already went through this whole thing about how you're cheating, you're gonna get expelled, blah, blah, blah. Now tell me why this boy was back in class the next day. He was back in class the next day. I was just like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking like, that's messed up. Like, I know he should be expelled by now. He should be pulled out of the class. Well, he was there, and he was there for the rest of the semester, and he graduated. Saying that, I felt as if being black in this program, you experience more hardship, you experience just different things that a student of another race would experience. So in general, those were just little experiences that I experienced while I was in nursing school. Being black, I'm not gonna say that I just had like the worst experience while I was there being black. I met a lot of great teachers. I met a lot of great students who are of the opposite race that I'm still friends with to this day. I just feel like it's very important for us to actually learn each other as individuals and try to break the whole stigma or dispel the stigma of perceptions towards each other. It was just it was major culture shock for me. Comment below what you feel, your thoughts. How do you feel like we can actually bridge this gap in cultures? Also be respectful in your comments and what you say, because at the end of the day, I believe that we all just take time, like I said, to get to know each other as individuals, and that we are all human. We are all the same. We just have different cultures and different backgrounds. That's my little spill and story time. Now let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel. I love you guys so much. This was really a transparent moment for me. I have been sipping lightly. If y'all want to know, love you. Let me know what you think.